Hey, good morning. Happy Sunday to you. It is crazy, crazy. 200 days. So awesome, so awesome. I'll tell you what, let me just first say thank you so much. Maybe this is your very first episode of the Daily Dose, but we are in episode number 200. 200 days. And again, I'm just going to do this because I'm proud of myself for being as consistent. And I wanted to really, just express my gratitude first off. We're going to talk about confidence because I want to really today show you and share with you truly what it takes to have the confidence that you need, the confidence that you need to achieve any or all the goals that you have in life. All of them. This is the kind of confidence truly. I was thinking my wife and I just took the dog for a run on the bikes. And I'll tell you what, when I first took Owen on a bike ride, I was not confident. He was little, he was crazy, he was chasing after dogs. But over time, we got used to it, things got better. And I became more confident, became more confident in me. I still have to watch out for the squirrels when we go by them. And today there was a few of them he wanted to chase down. But we're pretty confident together on the bike. And we jive, it just works. My wife can't take him. She's not confident enough to take him on a bike. It's just too squirrely. And I say that because there's too many squirrels in our neighborhood. But now is the time. 200 days, 200 days ago, I said, let me just go on and do a daily live show. And honestly, even before that, I have some experience with doing lives, right? And I had to overcome some of my fears. I'll never forget the first day that I went on live, and it was at the beach. And this was far before, maybe about 2 years ago, is when actually Facebook Live started to allow you to go live. And I was like, I saw people doing it. I was like, gosh, that's really scary. What are people gonna think about me? What am I gonna say? I'm gonna mess up. And then I did it, and I'll just share with you what I did. So if you want to go live, if you're thinking about doing something that's outside, you have to actually just jump in. You have to actually commit to do it and to be okay with screwing up. I think maybe one of the things that helped me overcome that is knowing that I've screwed up before. I'm going to screw up again. And there is not much confidence in necessarily the screwing up part, but there is confidence in being able to overcome. And I want you to overcome so that you can get all the goals that you set out for your life. Maybe it's with your health, maybe it's with your business, maybe it's with your relationships, maybe it's with your faith journey. And sometimes even in the world right now, as a Christian man, there's sometimes confidence. It just kind of I feel like it waxes and wanes, or it ebbs and flows with the tides, right? It's am I really confident in this world right now? And not to get into that deep part, but yeah, thank you, Greg. Thank Kathy. Good morning to you as well. And if you're on here, let me know that you're here live. Let's make this interactive. 200 episodes, come on. I did not miss one day doing a daily dose. And again, I've done typically more lives. But when I first started out, let me just take it back for a moment. And thank you for bearing with me while I share this, because I just want to savor it. I'll never forget going live. I was on the beach. I was on my bike, and I was on my bike riding. Instead of holding the dog, I was holding my phone, and I just started to talk about fitness. And it was around this time of year, a little bit later. I think it was around December time and holidays. And I talked about New Year's resolutions. And I was so nervous, so nervous. And I even got people and I would watch and listen back and get the feedback. And I was like, that sucked. I've come on. I even know some of these are not very good. Maybe I ramble on too much. That's all right. That's me. It's who I am. I like to talk. I want to be encouraging, but just so you know, you're getting the real me. This isn't some made up version of a coach that's just trying to come on here and woo you into getting healthier and fit. Truly, I live this, it's my life. And I want to share my life with you. So if you want to be a part of it, continue watching the Daily Dose. I'm not ending. Today's 200. I would love to go for 365 days. Who knows? We're going to go at least through the year. I may just move this into my private coaching and make you guys require to step up and actually invest in yourselves. And that's a whole nother conversation. But let's just talk about getting through and having the kind of confidence to overcome. I want you to overcome. It's time to overcome, right? How do you overcome? You overcome your fears by actually just stepping into them. Don't try to skate around. Don't try to go around your fears. It's to actually go through them. And how the best to go through them is just to try to make an attempt to do it. Just like I did this. I didn't know where this was going to go. I didn't know I was going to do 200 episodes, but I'm here and I'm still doing it. And some of you are still watching. Maybe you haven't watched in a while. It'll be interesting to go back. Maybe I'll have to replay my very first one and share that with you. And we'll go from there. It'll be interesting to kind of reminisce when this whole lockdown started and everything was all up in the air. And it's still, to some of you, feel like it is. But let's get right into it. Let's dive in. The kind of God confidence. Oh, did I say it? I've already spilled it. It's called God confidence. Let me just share with you. This is really awesome. Like my wife had this around and I've read this. It's called Jesus Calling, and it's a devotional, daily devotional, literally every single day of the year. There's 365 days in this little book. And I want to share with you something on today. Today, October, I believe it's the 16th. I hope it is, because that'll make sense for today. Is it not the 16th? No, it's like the 9th. Hold on a second. They just flip through. Hold on. Let me just make sure on the. Oh, no. I'm just going to read this one. And it's not the 16th, I don't think. So let's just go through here. Look to me, October. This was from October 16th. And this is what I read. I just opened it up. And I don't even know if it's the 16th. Look to me, continue. Listen up. Come on, draw in. Thank you. Come on here. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're here. Just say hello. Say good morning. Say God bless. Whatever you want to say. Don't cuss or I'll just kick you out. Look to me continually for help, comfort, and companionship, because I am always by your side. The briefest glance can connect you with me. When you look to me for help. Now, this is called Jesus Calling, right? So it's not me. You're not looking to me for help. Maybe some of you will. When you look to Jesus for help, it flows freely from my presence. This recognition of your need for me in small matters as well as in the large ones keeps you spiritually alive. When you need comfort, I love to enfold you in my arms. I enable you not only to feel comforted, but also to be a channel through whom I comfort others. Thus you are doubly blessed, not just singly blessed, doubly blessed, because a living channel absorbs some of whatever flows through it. My constant companionship is the pièce de résistance. I don't know if I said that right, because I'm not French. The summit of salvation blessings. No matter what losses you experience in your life, no one can take away this glorious gift. And that's truly the kind of confidence that you need to go through and to overcome fears, doubts, disbeliefs, anxiety, differences in opinions, the world, right? Is to have a certain kind of confidence, because I can just tell from personal experience in my walk over life over the last 48 years, as I always had a bit of confidence. My parents instilled a good amount of confidence in me, but it was my own confidence. Mark, you can do what you want if you work hard and you study and you actually do the work needed. You'll do whatever you need, and like they instilled that value, and I struggled with it. And you know why I struggled with it? Because I relied on it just being my own confidence to get through it. Like I did this. This is up to me to be successful. This is up to me to do this. And yes, you have to take accountability for yourself and the actions that you do. However, the kind of confidence I'm talking that is really like a limitless confidence has not come from me. And if for those of you, if you're a Christian, if maybe you're even sort of like kind of on the fence in your whole faith journey, and that's okay, because I still have questions, and that's a good thing. As a Christian, I want to still have questions. I think if I had all the answers, and I don't, if I had all the answers, then what would there be a need for faith in the first place, right? Does that make sense? See, my shirt's here. Does that make sense? So the kind of confidence to overcome, if you truly want to overcome all of your struggles, overcome them all. Because even if the struggles don't get solved, the way to overcome them is having confidence that's not just in yourself. And it's interesting because I have a lot of people who they get on calls with me and we talk about working out, we talk about fitness, and they share with me things that they haven't been able to overcome. They share with me their struggles with dieting and telling me they've tried. They've tried even working out. It's so confusing. I'm older. I don't get it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. Is it just me? I mean, I've given up. I've tried diets. I've tried workouts. I've had gym memberships, all those types of things. And they've lost confidence in themselves. And I think what's so relatable right now in this moment in 200 episodes for me is thinking to how little confidence I had in myself a couple of years ago just to go on and do live. In fact, I think I shared with you, and that might be a whole nother story, is I actually took a public speaking course years ago because I wanted to be more present. I wanted to actually get my voice out there when I had a gym and all that stuff and doing golf fitness and things. And I remember I took a public speaking course, and it was a hard one, and not a course, it was actually like a weekend, kind of like a workshop, if you will. And I bombed it miserably. All I was worried about was all the stuff, getting everything perfect. And I wasn't practicing. And that's the thing, is it's practice. Now, how do you build confidence? As I did here, you practice. Consistency will compound. I'd like to say I still screw up on here, and that's okay. I think what's valuable to you is you see the real side of me. There's nothing scripted. I read this morning. I don't have anything in here. Sometimes I write down some notes, and actually I stopped writing down notes. I write down some things when I leave it in there, because then I start to focus on all the other stuff and not just being real with you. And I want to be as real as possible. And to be honest with you, the confidence for me, again, yes, I'm in good, decent shape, and I eat healthy, and I have hobbies and lifestyle, life goals, and I had a good upbringing, and maybe you didn't have any of those things, and maybe you don't have an upbringing, maybe you're in a bad spot right now, and I can say what's beautiful about God confidence is you can actually get it right now. You can actually start today and have that confidence. I get so filled on the weekends, on Sundays, when I get to hear a message of hope, of faith, of trust, of belief in God, that he empowers. He has the ability to empower you to have the confidence. And that may be the confidence to actually make a decision with your health. Like I'd said, I get on calls with people every week, and they talk about what they're not confident in. They tell me about their fears and frustrations with diet and losing weight. And I can just hear, talking to them, the lack of confidence they have. Now, again, even I meet some people that have a lot of confidence in God, but they don't have confidence in themselves yet. And they feel like they've really kind of let not just themselves down, they've let their family down, they've let other people in their lives down. Maybe they just are at a place in their lives where they just don't know they have God confidence, but they don't have confidence enough in themselves. And that's where I come in is I've come alongside a lot of people, and it's sad to see people who are just not confident enough to say, hey, it's okay to get some help. It's okay to actually invest in yourself. I think that's the hard thing to understand, is when it comes time to getting help, sometimes it requires making an actual investment. And it's really interesting. My coach, I've made huge investments in myself over the years, and I have coaches right now that help me, and I can tell you, there's certain things in business. As an online coach 3 years ago, I didn't know how to do online coaching. I didn't know how to work with people online. I've been doing it face-to-face with people for 20 years up until 5 years ago, and I almost gave it up completely. Took a whole break for a year. I wasn't going to even do fitness at all. I had no more confidence. Like maybe it just needed to be done with this altogether. And then God gave me the confidence in saying, you know what? He's like, I'm not done with you yet. Get back out there and get in the mix. And that's when we went on the line. And what did I do? I had no idea what to do. So I made investments in myself. And it's hard to hear when people need the help. They truly need help. They truly desire wanting their bodies, their life, their weight to be in a better place. They know that they're not maximizing their full potential, not just for them, but for the plan that God has set for them. And they're not maximized yet. And they continue to just go around the kind of cul-de-sac or the merry-go-round or whatever you want to call it of having a little bit of success, maybe doing a diet or a cleanse or a fast or trying something new or buying some Fitbit. And then they lose confidence in themselves because they don't consistently do it. Like I'd shared with you why I'm fairly confident on this screen here in front of you, whoever's watching, is that it's because it took time, it took patience, it took practice. Consistency compounds in a diet. Super easy. I say super easy. Consistency compounds. You want to get better results? Be consistent with your diet. And I'm not saying dieting, consistent with the food you eat. You want to be stronger and more fit. You want to have more definition. Be more consistent. And that, when you start to become more consistent, guess what? It compounds, and guess what that does? It builds confidence, but that's really hard for people. And I know that because that's why I've made it my life's work. You see, I wouldn't have been able to do this for 25 years if people didn't just snap out of it and have all that amazing confidence to pursue their absolute best. And that's something to be said, and to overcome. Sometimes it's hard on your own, right? Sometimes even if you have strong faith, it's hard to overcome some of the obstacles and challenges if you're not the expert in understanding your body and understanding how to lose weight, or understanding how to get in shape, or understanding how to maximize your full physical, emotional, spiritual potential. Of course, then it's going to be hard to have the confidence to go through life, right? When you're aspiring, you want to achieve those goals, but you don't know how to do it. And it's really interesting. I was sharing with my wife. I said, yeah, I had so many people this month, so many people reach out. I've had tons and tons of calls come in. And the one thing is people need to do this. They need to have a coach in their corner. They need to have some outside eyes, a mentor. They're like, Mark, I know the value there. And then they don't. There's a couple of things that happen is then it comes to making that investment, right? Making that investment. And it's like they don't pull the trigger, and people just fail to launch. That whole failure to, well, what if I fail? Well, how are you? You're definitely going to fail if you don't try. And if you've been failing for the last 10 years on your own, what's to say just in one conversation you're going to start succeeding? It doesn't happen. If this was like one video and then I'd be amazing on screen, then that would be awesome. Can you imagine if it was just one workout, or like a couple of workouts, or a couple of healthy meals, and boom, you're in great shape? Like, wouldn't that be amazing? It's not how it works. And I'm going to put it out there. It's something that I have a mission and a goal for my aspirations, for what I want to achieve, not just as a husband and a father, but as a coach and a mentor. Is I want to reach people who want to be helped, who are ready to make that next step, who are ready to overcome, who maybe even have the God confidence, but they don't have confidence in themselves yet. They don't feel that they're maximizing their full potential. And I say this today at episode 200. Did I do this just to kill time and do 200 episodes? No, this is my livelihood. It's for you to get to know me, but also to know that I'm an encouraging coach. Somebody who wants to not just give you some motivation. I hear this all the time. Mark, I just am not motivated. If it was only relying on motivation, I'll tell you, you can be 200 days consistent in motivation and still not get the results that you want, because you got to take action. It requires taking action. And sometimes taking action is a really hard thing, especially if it requires actually opening up your pocketbook, your wallet, and saying, I need to invest in myself. That's the thing. It's like, man, I just can't. Here's the thing. People can afford exactly what they want to afford. That's what it comes down to. You can spend money or you can invest money. And right now in the world that we're living in, it was like, it would be easy to want to just store up and save and conserve. But right now should be the exact time you're investing in yourself, investing in your health, investing in not just the future, in the now. For you, if you're like me, I think if I'm investing time and effort, I have a coach that helps me in my business. I'm investing in myself to better myself, to maximize my full potential, so that regardless of what comes, that I can build. I like to think of it as building a bulletproof body. Think of like that bulletproof vest, and putting that on and thinking of like, I want to be bulletproof. I know nobody's bulletproof. I know that, right? But why not do what you can to invest in yourself? Well, and I'm not just saying coaching. It can be investing in a business coach. It can be investing in a lot of other things. And at the end of the day, we're either spending money, and a lot of times we just spend it because it's going to feel better. Let's just spend that because it'll make us feel better. Let's just go on that trip so we can just get away from everything. Trust me, I want to do some of that too. But I can tell you, hands down, I can just full on in 200 episodes. How have I gotten better than this? Gotten better online and on screen here, and hopefully provide even more value. there's like 10 squirrels running around my oak tree right now. They just got me distracted. Is that I've continually invested in myself. You see, you can invest in the news on TV and let that worry you every day, all day long. You can invest in newspapers. You can invest in the people that are trying to pull you down, just the negative comments and, aggravation, and maybe the naysayers and the people who are the saboteurs. Maybe you have a group of friends, like they say, they're the byproduct of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, just evaluate who you spend the most time with. You want to overcome some obstacles and achieve your best. Surround yourself, if you want to become the best, surround yourself with the best. Does that not make sense? If you're surrounding yourself with people who are just sort of mediocre, who are just like doing nothing but complaining about the politics in this world and who's going to be president and what the news said and how this world is. Now, I mention it, and it's not that I'm oblivious to it, but I'm not going to focus my attention on it. And I sure the heck don't want to hang around people who are going to be focused on that. In fact, any of you listening right now, if you're wondering why I don't post on your feed or say like or love, and you're like, man, I come on and you don't do, well, maybe I've gone on your feed and it's nothing but negativity. And you know what? I just unfollow you. It's pretty simple as that. It's definitely a little side hack. You want to overcome and achieve your goals. Get out of the people's way who are trying to pull you down. You know what? That's what I mentioned yesterday. God, maybe the people that don't like you, it's possible that God's just trying to help you stay away from them. And the beautiful thing about social media, and a beautiful thing about you can just unfollow, you can unfriend. It's simple as that. I love my Facebook feed. I see encouragement posts and faith posts, and I see people who are just working at it. They're still moving forward in life despite life feeling like it's stuck right now in 2020. I can tell you in all honesty, this has been 2020, although it has been really challenging for my family, my kids, and my wife, and life, and my business, as I can tell you this, that 2020 has been one of the biggest years of growth in my life for a lot of different reasons. And this is not to like say, oh, this is this, and you're like bragging. It isn't. It's just that I've chosen to focus on what I can focus on. Consistency compounds. And listen, if you want to be consistently negative, guess what? That's going to compound, and it's going to lead you down a dark road. If you consistently are watching the news and letting it get you upset, guess what? You're going to be continually upset. Even if your president gets elected next month, guarantee there's going to be anger and frustration because it's what you compounded over the course of the last 7 months. If you're just going to be like, if you're just angry and frustrated and bitter, and guess what? If you're compounding that, that's what's going to carry you on. You can know it's kind of like your diet, right? If you've been stuffing your face with food over the last 7 months and maybe the last 7 years, and maybe you've been drinking like you were in your 20s, and guess what? Your body is the result of what you're going to get from what you've done. You're compounding. Again, you compound, it's like consistent. If you're consistently overeating calories, think about this. If you're consistently overeating, guess what? That compounds, and guess what? Everybody can see it, including yourself, every day when you get up and look in the mirror, right? Is that not the truth? So back to how to overcome. I'm telling you what, let me just read this one more time. Can I read this through one more time if you're on here listening? And if you haven't caught all of this, go back and watch the beginning. I had this from Jesus Calling in the 200 episodes. And thank you so much. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking the time. You've encouraged me. When I come on here, I get messages from people. Thank you so much for the message that you send to me privately. They are so encouraging. Partly, I think I've been on here 200 episodes, 200 days later, is because so many people have been encouraging me, saying, thank you so much. You don't know how you've helped. And again, it isn't the confidence in me. It's the confidence I have in the Lord. And I want to just go through this one more time, please. This is the second time. Look to me continually. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. This is Jesus Calling, and it's October. And I don't think today's the 16th. I'm not even sure. I apologize. Look to me continually for help, comfort, and companionship, because I am always by your side. The briefest glance can connect you with me. When you look to me for help, it flows freely from my presence. This recognition of your need for me in small matters, as well as in the large ones, keeps you spiritually alive. When you need comfort, I love to enfold you in my arms. I enable you not only to feel comforted, but also to be a channel through whom I comfort others. That right there resonated with me. Thus, you are doubly blessed because a living channel absorbs some of whatever flows through it. My constant companionship is the pièce de résistance, the summit of salvation's blessings. No matter what losses you experience in your life, no one can take away this glorious gift. The one thing that I wanted to share with you just in the end is when you need comfort, I love to enfold you in my arms. And I'm just going to share with you just one little last thing before I go is in the mornings I have my quiet time. I feel like this is going. In the mornings I have my quiet time and I sit on my couch, and it's not always pretty. Sometimes I read scripture, sometimes when I feel stressed, I feel like I don't know what today is going to bring, and I'm a little nervous about it, and it's okay to be nervous. As I just sit in the couch, I'm just sharing with you a little intimacy with me here. And when I time with the Lord and where I get my confidence from. And I believe it or not, I sit in this corner of the couch. It's like my corner of the couch. And you probably have yours too, like your section of the couch. So I sit in my corner and I have a pillow, and it's not been cold, but sometimes even with the air conditioner, I'll pull a blanket over and I'll just kind of lean into the couch. And when I lean into the couch, I try not to fall asleep because I get really comfortable. But I don't feel it's the couch that I get comfortable, or because it's maybe 4:30 or 5 in the morning, because I'm usually awake by then. I get in and I just lean in and I feel like that section. When you need comfort, I love to enfold you in my arms. I almost feel like I lean into the couch and that I feel like God's got me. Like he just is like surrounding me with his presence. And then when I get done and I get in, even if I'll read maybe like a verse or maybe just have some thoughts, they've never failed me, in a sense that I've always felt comforted. And I think in those moments, he's also sharing with me that there's more people out there who need encouragement. There's more people who need to be inspired. There's more people who in this world are hurting. And I think he's given me that kind of confidence, if you will, to know that, okay, Mark, I'm helping you overcome some of your obstacles in life, but I don't want you to just stop there. I want you to, and I think as Christians, isn't that the case? Like, isn't that the point for us? Not just to keep that kind of confidence to ourselves, is actually to enable others to have that confidence. Can you imagine? Like, think about this, and then I'm going to be done. I don't know what time it is, but I think I've overdone this a little bit. But can you imagine if, for my brothers and sisters out there in Christ, can you imagine if we all had, say, 20% more, let's just say 10%. Can you imagine the status of this world if everybody had just 10% more God confidence? Like just 10%. Can you imagine if we had like 50%? It would be a whole different world that we'd be living in right now. Can you imagine that for a moment? Like and if you're not a believer and you don't have faith, think of it this way. Is you hear that like all you need is faith of a mustard seed. Do you know what a mustard seed? Think of it like a poppy seed, and even maybe smaller than one poppy seed, or like a grain of sand. You don't need to start having that kind of confidence. All you need is just that little bit. And I think sometimes we feel that little bit of faith is requiring us to change our whole world, and it will change your whole world, but it doesn't mean that you can't stop living. It doesn't mean you can't continue to live an amazing life. And I am just one to first put my hand up and say it hasn't been easy, but I'm encouraged. And my confidence, as much as you may see me show a workout video, exercise video, or talk about my coaching or come on here and do live, my confidence is not in myself. I have confidence in myself, but the confidence comes from the Lord, who's actually he's woke me up, so to speak. He's given me that encouragement. I'm able to lean in on him when I need him most. And my encouragement to you in this, and I don't know what that looks like for you. Maybe you're still stuck overweight. Maybe you've even been on the phone with me and you failed to pull the trigger because you didn't have the confidence in yourself. You're like, I don't know. I don't want to invest in a coach. It's a big investment to have a coach like you. And yes, it is. But here's what I say to people is it may be a big investment to work with somebody like me for a year, But what kind of investment are you making in yourself if you're going down the road that you've been continuing on? That kind of investment leads to, guess what? Like, it's like a stock market crash, right? It's like you never know when the doctor's going to tell you, boom, you need surgery, or boom, you need to have all this medication the rest of your life, or boom, you could have some serious problem. And that could be very, very costly. That, again, can ruin. You can ruin you, it can ruin your family, and it's all that takes. But if you're not investing in yourself, if you're not investing in your health, guess what? You're investing in your death is what it comes down to. You're either investing in your health or investing in your death. Is that a little bit too heavy? I hope it is. Maybe it needs to be heard. Maybe that's what the voice is God's telling me to share with you, is if you're not investing in your health, guess what? You're investing in your death. It's kind of what it comes down to. So, okay, that's a dark note. Let's leave on a high note. My encouragement to you to overcome your fears, to overcome your obstacles, is to be consistent and to get that confidence that you need. Confidence in yourself, but as you as believers, also confidence in your faith and belief that God's going to see you through. Today is a day we can just take for what it is, a Sunday morning, and it's a beautiful one here. A little windy, you might have heard that. You maybe see there's not too much blowing back there. But it's day. Today is the only day you need to be focused on. Don't worry about tomorrow. Let God take tomorrow. That's actually in Scripture. That's all I have. Thank you again. 200 episodes. I'm shooting for 300. Let's go. Let's go to 300. 8 a.m. daily dose. I hope you have an amazing, blessed day. Hey, reach out to me. I do this for a living. This is my livelihood, not to just come on here live. My livelihood is to help people on a more one-on-one level, in a mentorship, if you will, to not just get you some pounds off, not to just teach you how to work out. Again, that's included, but it's more to really truly empower you, to give you the kind of confidence that you need to get to become your best, to bulletproof yourself through life so that you can do that all God is calling you in and through you in your life. Take care. Have a blessed one. We'll see you soon.